3X Pitching Grips program. In this episode, we're going to talk about the circle change. The idea, I know everybody's heard about the circle change. Obviously, it's probably the first changeup a lot of kids and pitching coaches teach. The idea is obviously you want to make a circle. You want to make a circle with your fingers, just like this, and in some way or not, put the ball in there and find a grip. For me, I'm a big fan of finding the grip of wherever your fastball is. If you like two-seam fastball the most, if you like four-seam fastball the most, find that grip and then make a circle change off of it. So let's begin there, and then I'll show you towards the end, I'll show you some of the more famous circle grips, some of the best circle grips ever in baseball, and we'll talk about those. So essentially, find your grip. For me, we're always talking about four-seam fastball. That's why I throw the most. And then what I essentially want to do is just move the fingers over and make that circle on the side. You know, a lot of guys have actually thrown changeups just like this. Or if I'm throwing two-seam and I'm right here, I'm essentially just going to replace those two fingers with the next two fingers, make a circle on the side, and all of a sudden, right there, I have a circle change grip. So anyway, wherever you feel comfortable, try different grips, try different spots where you hold it. But what the key to this, though, is you're going to put your fingers on the side of the ball versus on top of the ball. Why? Well, the reason is to take velocity off the ball. The hardest you're going to be able to throw is when this finger is right on top of the ball or this finger is right off the side. If you were ever able to throw like that, you'd probably have pretty good velocity. But if you're right behind the ball, you're going to have the most velocity. Four-seamers, two-seamers are most velocity because you're right behind the ball. So if you're taking that finger off of it, the strongest finger you got, and you're using the other fingers, you're going to have less velocity behind it because the other fingers that are not as strong, not as on top of the ball, they're going to be used to actually throw it, and those pitches are not going to be able to add the velocity that the other pitches do. The type of action I'm looking for this pitch, what I want it to do, the reason I'm throwing it is because I want to have something that moves down and away from left-handed hitters, from left-handed, moving it down away from right-handed hitters, something that looks like my fastball, something that comes out of my hand just like my fastball and makes them think fastball the whole way, but then it gets a little movement. The idea is I want out of my hand, I want a down and away movement. You know, obviously, if I'm throwing 90 miles an hour, I'm looking for this pitch to be 83, 82. You know, good 8 miles an hour would probably be perfect for a circle change. I want it down and away, soft, not too firm. So I want a little down and away action. So now there's different ways to get that action. One of the ways, wherever you find your circle change, is to throw straight over and just throw straight down. If you're throwing straight down, try to keep this circle right here straight down, then you're going to get more of the down action because you're going to be straight behind it. You're going to get that spin, that back spin, and it's going to get a little straight down action. Now, one of the things with a lot of guys, what they do with the circle change is they actually think pronation. So at the very end, they actually try to push it out a little bit, and that's going to give you this action. So if you're a little bit more down but push out right the last second, you get really good here. If you push out a ton, you can get more of that run. So those are different ways to get a little bit of action on the ball. It's essentially what kind of pitch you want or what kind of angle you're working with. It's probably best for you. But that's the type of things that those guys are looking for. Why throw? I wanted to be able to throw something for strikes, so I'm not constantly throwing fastballs, something away from the hitter that's moving down away. It's a great ground ball pitch. If you're got a couple good runners on, runner on first base with one out, behind the count, awesome pitch because it's going to be a change of velocity and a change of movement. Very hard for hitters to be able to pick up both, and especially if you're throwing fastballs. If you're ahead of counts a lot, this is a great pitch because guys are going to start sitting on your fastball, having to swing at your fastball, and it looks just like your fastball, a little slower, a little bit more movement. You can get a lot of really good swings on it. When to throw? When you throw this pitch anytime, I would suggest, you know, basically anytime except for first pitch. You know, anytime to count. First pitch, the problem with throwing a circle change first pitch, you're not really going to be fooling a whole lot of people. They don't have anything to really go off of. You want this pitch to be backed up right back up behind a good fastball. So hitters have to recognize the fastball, have to have that fastball swing. You're really getting their bat, you're kind of getting them out, trying to look for the fastball, and then you get that extra movement. That's when you get the really good swings on it that you want. Complement. Good circle change, a great two-seamer is one of the best complements. They look alike together. They move the same way, a lot of different in speeds, a lot of big difference in speed. So that's the key thing to it. If you're getting that good kind of down circle change action, throw a good four-seamer with it. Again, probably the best complement you can have is to throw it with the same grip, the same look as your fastball. That's going to be best complement. So out of your hand, it looks like the same pitch. Arm angle. Arm angle with this pitch, essentially you can throw it from anywhere. You can throw it from the side, you can throw it from 3/4, you can throw it from on top. Any of those arm angles work. Again, like I said, you throw it from up top and you're staying through it, you're going to get really good down action. From 3/4 and you're staying through it, you're still going to get a little down. If you're really turning over from 3/4, you're going to get some really big run. If you're on top and you're throwing trying to get that pronation, you're still going to get that kind of down and this way because you're going to be moving down so hard. From the side, throw circle change, you're going to get almost the opposite movement of your arm. So you throw this way and it's going to go that way. So a lot of different movements with this pitch depending on where your arm angle is. Aiming wise though, I want to throw this pitch for a strike in the zone. Now if I'm ahead of the count and I'm trying to throw this pitch, maybe I'm going to try to throw it on a corner and let it move off. But essentially you want to throw this pitch for the strike. Almost try to start at middle, right in the middle of the zone and let it fade away. We'll fade it down to that corner. So essentially, if I got the strike zone right here, I want to start in the middle, let it fade there, or start in the middle, let it fade there. But you want to make sure this pitch is on the lower part of the zone because this pitch up becomes very flat, very hittable. Hitters see it out of your hand, very easy if it's up in the zone. So you want to make sure this pitch is down. If you're throwing a good four-seamer down and away, this is a great pitch right off of that. Again, like a two-seamer down the zone, great pitch right off of it to throw at the same exact spot and let it fade down and away. What it looks like if it's wrong. A couple things. Again, like I said, one of the big things for a circle change that goes wrong is you just get a whole ton of fade. It's just kind of going across the zone and it really isn't getting much movement, staying flat, staying on the hitting plane. Key with that is you're probably getting way too much on the side of it. Try to throw more straight down, right over the ball, straight down. You're going to get more down movement. If the ball is staying too flat, just too straight through the whole thing, again, try to get a little pronation. Another thing is if the pitch isn't getting enough ball speed off of it. That's a lot of questions I get is if the ball's too hard, my changeup's too hard, what do I do? Big thing with the circle change, what you can do is you can be loose with your grip. So you want to have your fingers on the ball, but the big thing you can do, and a lot of guys do, like Barry Zito, when you look at a picture of him throwing a circle change, his fingers are pretty much like that, right off the ball. And what happens is when you throw it, when it comes off, it's got those little the fingers extra on the ball, and they're really not doing anything. It's almost like a dead fish in your hand, and it's just getting backspin. It's slowing the pitch down a ton. You're just getting a whole lot of spin without a whole lot of velocity behind it. It's going to slow down the ball a ton. You're going to get a lot more movement. Really big change in velocity. That's one way to do it. Another way, some guys even try to speed the ball up. Eric Gagne, I was looking at his. He almost throws it like this. He's got a tiny little circle on the side. He almost doesn't even connect it, and he throws it right on top. So it almost became like a split or like a fork ball. It popped out and then like tumbled and dropped. It was pretty ridiculous to see in person. But that essentially, we would call that a circle change. It's a little funky different circle change. One of the more famous circle changes in history is Johan Santana. Santana would grip the ball like right here. He wouldn't necessarily connect the circle on it, but then he would keep his fingers on top of the ball, or just a little off. Some of the pictures I saw him on top. Some pictures I saw him off just a little bit. I think that depended on what he wanted the ball to do. If he wanted the ball to be slower or more controlled. If on top of the ball, he's probably getting more down movement. off a little bit. He was probably getting a little bit more of this action with it. Johan could also control the changeup better than anybody I've ever seen. So with him, it's pretty amazing. If you ever get to watch and study his changeup, it's pretty wonderful. He's able to do a whole lot of different things with it. You know, I was looking also, Felix Hernandez. Felix, he throws a lot of two-seamers. He's got really good two-seam action. So with him, what he does, you can see it. When I was pitching with him, this is what he would do, is he would grip the ball right here and basically throw it right there, but it would almost be like his two-seamer on top of the ball and then the circle on the side. And his changeup is extremely aggressive. He throws it in almost all counts. He's ahead of the count, he throws it. Behind the count, he throws it. You know, when he's throwing 92 miles an hour, he's throwing this pitch 91 miles an hour. But he grips it, and it's almost like he's gripping it like a fastball, and he's throwing it like a fastball. He's pretty amazing, but he's almost able to throw a fastball with these two fingers instead of these two fingers. And he's on top of it, and he's super, super aggressive with it. So the circle change, whole lot of different ways to grip it. Like I said, start out by trying to grip it just like your four-seamer or your two-seamer. Whatever you throw more consistently for strikes, wherever you get the best action on, throw it just like that. Instead of the two fingers on top of the ball, move the two fingers over. Try the circle right there. If you're feeling pretty good with this grip, try taking your fingers off a little bit. You'll get a little action. Try pronating if you want to get a little bit more action on top of that. Get too much action, try staying more on top of the ball. But right there is the circle change.